Have you ever had days where your mind feels unsettled, your sleep feels broken, or your emotions seem louder than usual, even though nothing stressful actually happened? For many women, the reason isn't psychological, it's hormonal, and one hormone in particular plays a bigger role in your sense of peace than almost any other: progesterone. In this video, we'll break down exactly what progesterone does in your body, how and why it declines, how to recognize the early signs of imbalance, and the natural ways to support it through lifestyle, daily habits, and gentle hormone-friendly routines. This video is for educational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider for personalized guidance. What progesterone really does: the silent stabilizer of your hormones. If estrogen is the spotlight hormone everyone talks about, progesterone is the quiet force working backstage, keeping your mood steady, your sleep deep, and your entire hormonal system in balance. The true role of progesterone in a woman's body. Most women think of progesterone only in terms of fertility or pregnancy. But in reality, progesterone is a multi-purpose, full-body hormone that affects almost every system, from your brain to your bones to your metabolism. Progesterone is mainly produced after ovulation in the corpus luteum, the temporary gland formed from the follicle that released your egg. If pregnancy doesn't occur, progesterone levels fall, triggering your next period. But its purpose goes far beyond cycles. This hormone is your body's natural calming chemical, stabilizing moods, supporting sleep, and balancing estrogen's more stimulating effects. You also make smaller amounts of progesterone in your adrenal glands, which becomes especially important after age 40, when ovulation becomes less consistent and the ovaries slowly reduce hormone output. This is why adrenal health and stress management are essential for maintaining progesterone levels later in life. Progesterone, the hormone that helps you feel like yourself. Progesterone interacts directly with GABA receptors in the brain, the same calming pathways activated by certain anti-anxiety medications. This is why healthy progesterone levels help you feel emotionally centered, calm and grounded, less reactive, better able to handle stress, more focused and mentally clear. It's also why low progesterone is linked with anxiety, restlessness, irritability, and trouble sleeping. Women often describe the difference as feeling like myself versus feeling overwhelmed. Its role in supporting hormonal harmony. Progesterone's most important job may be balancing estrogen. Estrogen stimulates growth and energy. Progesterone stabilizes, soothes, and prevents overstimulation. Without enough progesterone, estrogen becomes relatively louder, leading to symptoms of estrogen dominance, even if estrogen levels are normal. Progesterone regulates the thickness of the uterine lining, prevents heavy or irregular bleeding, helps maintain a stable cycle, keeps breast tissue from becoming overly sensitive, reduces fluid retention and bloating. This is why women with low progesterone often experience worsening PMS, shorter cycles, emotional volatility, and sleep disturbances. Beyond mood and cycles, progesterone's whole body benefits. Progesterone contributes to more than emotional calm. It plays a vital role in bone health. It helps activate bone-building cells, working alongside estrogen to maintain strength. Thyroid function. It supports proper thyroid hormone conversion, helping regulate energy and metabolism. Brain protection. Progesterone reduces inflammation and promotes healthy neural connections, especially important for aging women. Metabolism and weight. It helps keep insulin stable and reduces cravings triggered by hormonal imbalance. Pregnancy support. It prepares the uterus for implantation and maintains early pregnancy until the placenta takes over. Progesterone truly is a whole-body hormone, and when it's missing, you feel the effects everywhere. Progesterone isn't just a fertility hormone. It's your body's natural calm, your emotional anchor, your sleep supporter, and estrogen's essential balancing partner. When progesterone is steady, your entire system feels more predictable, peaceful, and resilient. How and why progesterone levels drop. The first hormone to fall out of balance. If you feel more anxious, more irritable, or more exhausted than you used to, even though your life hasn't changed, progesterone might be the first hormone sending a distress signal. It is often the earliest hormone to decline, long before estrogen noticeably drops. Progesterone declines earlier than most women expect. One of the biggest hormonal surprises for women is that progesterone drops years before menopause begins. As early as your late 30s or early 40s, ovulation can become irregular, even if you still get a monthly period. But without consistent ovulation, the body simply cannot make enough progesterone. This early dip creates the classic symptoms of perimenopause: anxiety, disrupted sleep, worsening PMS, shorter or unpredictable cycles, increased irritability, night sweats, or sensitivity to stress. Long before estrogen levels shift dramatically, progesterone quietly slips downward, setting the stage for the emotional and physical changes women feel in their 40s. The stress connection. When cortisol steals progesterone. Stress is the #1 killer of progesterone. Your body has a built-in survival mechanism. When cortisol, your stress hormone, rises, your system prioritizes survival over reproduction. This leads to the well-known phenomenon doctors call the progesterone steal, where the raw materials used to make progesterone are diverted to make more cortisol instead. The result? You feel tired but wired. Falling asleep becomes harder. Anxiety increases, cycles shorten, PMS intensifies. Women under chronic emotional, physical, or mental stress almost always have lower progesterone, regardless of age. Younger women can also experience low progesterone. Low progesterone isn't only a midlife issue. Women in their 20s and 30s often develop deficiency symptoms due to over-exercising, restrictive dieting or rapid weight loss, high caffeine intake, constant work or emotional pressure, lack of sleep, thyroid issues. All of these factors can suppress ovulation, and no ovulation means no progesterone. You may still bleed every month, but that doesn't guarantee ovulation occurred. This explains why some women experience PMS, anxiety, breast tenderness, or irritability, even when they're technically regular. When perimenopause begins, progesterone drops sharply. As women enter their 40s, ovulation becomes inconsistent. Some cycles ovulate, others don't. This is the natural beginning of perimenopause, and progesterone is the first hormone affected. Symptoms include waking up at 3 a.m., heavy or irregular periods, increased anxiety, mood swings, headaches, water retention, feeling emotionally fragile. Over time, the progesterone baseline falls lower and lower, leading to the classic roller coaster symptoms many women experience in their mid-40s. Lifestyle triggers that lower progesterone. Even more, certain habits can worsen progesterone decline. Chronic dieting suppresses ovulation. Too much cardio elevates cortisol. Alcohol burdens the liver and disrupts hormone metabolism. Sugar and processed foods destabilize insulin and affect ovulation. Poor sleep reduces hormone regulation overnight. Exposure to environmental toxins disrupts hormonal feedback loops. These aren't faults, they're modern pressures that overwhelm the female endocrine system. Progesterone is the first hormone to fall when your body feels stressed, overwhelmed, or overworked, and it is often the first hormone to decline as you age. When progesterone drops, your emotions feel sharper, your sleep becomes lighter, and your cycles become more unpredictable. Understanding these early signals allows you to take action long before imbalance becomes severe. The balance between progesterone and estrogen, the hormone partnership that shapes your well-being. If your hormones were a team, estrogen would be the accelerator and progesterone would be the brake. When one pushes too hard and the other can't slow things down, your entire system loses balance. Hormones don't work alone, they work in pairs. Progesterone and estrogen are designed to complement each other. Estrogen builds, stimulates, energizes, and prepares. Progesterone calms, stabilizes, soothes, and completes the cycle. In a healthy cycle, estrogen rises first, thickening the uterine lining, boosting energy, and increasing libido. Then ovulation occurs, and progesterone steps in to balance the effects of estrogen, slowing things down and helping the body reset. This natural partnership is delicate. When progesterone falls, especially after age 35, estrogen's influence becomes dominant, even if estrogen levels themselves are normal. This leads to one of the most common midlife issues: estrogen dominance caused by progesterone deficiency. What happens when progesterone can't balance estrogen? Without sufficient progesterone to temper estrogen, your system becomes overstimulated. Estrogen becomes the louder voice, and symptoms begin to appear: mood swings, heavy or painful periods, breast tenderness, bloating and water retention, weight gain around hips and thighs, difficulty sleeping, feeling overwhelmed or emotionally sensitive. This condition isn't always high estrogen. Often it's simply not enough progesterone to create harmony. Think of it as a seesaw: estrogen on one side, progesterone on the other. When progesterone dips, estrogen seems heavier, even if nothing has increased. Why liver and gut health matter in this balance. Your liver breaks down used estrogen so it can be safely eliminated. But when the liver is overburdened by stress, processed foods, alcohol, medications, or environmental toxins, it becomes less efficient at clearing old estrogen. Meanwhile, the gut microbiome, especially a group of bacteria called the estrobolome, determines whether estrogen is properly removed or recirculated back into your bloodstream. If your gut is inflamed or imbalanced, old estrogen gets reabsorbed, increasing its effects and worsening symptoms of estrogen dominance. This means maintaining the estrogen-progesterone balance isn't just about hormones, it's about supporting your liver, gut, and adrenal system. Why this balance matters more. After 40. As women approach their 40s, ovulation becomes increasingly inconsistent. Fewer ovulations equals less progesterone. Less progesterone equals more estrogen-driven symptoms. Common changes include shorter cycles, heavier bleeding, emotional sensitivity, headaches before periods, worsening PMS, sleep disturbances, anxiety during the second half of the cycle. These aren't random, they're direct signs that estrogen and progesterone are losing their rhythm. Eventually, as menopause approaches, both hormones decline, but progesterone still falls first, leaving estrogen temporarily unopposed. This is why perimenopause often feels like a roller coaster. The science behind the partnership, simplified. Estrogen stimulates tissue growth. Progesterone stabilizes that growth. Estrogen increases serotonin. Progesterone activates GABA to quiet the nervous system. Estrogen encourages fluid retention. Progesterone is a natural diuretic that brings balance. The harmony of these two systems keeps your emotional and physical well-being predictable and peaceful. You don't need more estrogen or less estrogen, you need balance. Progesterone is the stabilizing partner that keeps estrogen in check. When this relationship is disrupted, your mood, sleep, cycles, and energy shift dramatically. Supporting progesterone means supporting harmony, the foundation of how you feel day to day. Progesterone's role in mood, sleep, and brain health. If you've ever felt unusually emotional, easily overwhelmed, or wide awake at 3 a.m., it may not be stressful. It may be your progesterone quietly slipping. This hormone is your body's natural sedative. Without it, everything feels louder, sharper, and harder to manage. Progesterone and the nervous system, nature's built-in calm. Progesterone has a unique relationship with the brain. Unlike estrogen, which stimulates and energizes, progesterone has a calming, grounding effect. It directly interacts with GABA receptors, the brain's relax and unwind pathways. These are the same receptors targeted by certain anti-anxiety medications, but progesterone does it gently and naturally. This is why women with healthy progesterone often say they feel emotionally steady, mentally clear, less reactive, more patient, less sensitive to stress. And it's also why low progesterone can create a sense of internal unrest, like your body is tense even when nothing is wrong externally. Mood stability and emotional balance. One of progesterone's greatest roles is mood support. During the second half of the cycle, the luteal phase, progesterone is meant to rise, keeping you balanced before your next period. But if ovulation was weak or didn't occur, progesterone barely increases at all. When this happens, many women experience emotional sensitivity, mood swings, irritability, crying spells, anxiety or restlessness, a feeling of being overwhelmed by small things. These are not personality issues, they are biochemical signals. Your brain relies on progesterone to maintain emotional resilience. As women enter their 40s and ovulation becomes more irregular, progesterone naturally declines, which is why emotional symptoms often intensify during perimenopause. Sleep. Why progesterone helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. Progesterone is sometimes called the sleep hormone because it supports both sleep quality and sleep onset. It increases GABA activity, which helps quiet the brain at night. It also supports healthy melatonin rhythms, helping your body recognize when it's time to rest. When progesterone is low, common nighttime symptoms include difficulty falling asleep, waking up in the night, night sweats or restlessness, waking too early, light, easily disturbed sleep. This explains why women often say they can't shut off their mind during perimenopause or times of high stress. Deep, restorative sleep relies heavily on progesterone's calming influence. Brain fog, focus, and concentration. Progesterone also supports cognitive function. It reduces inflammation in the brain, protects nerve cells, and helps maintain clear communication between neurons. This means that low progesterone can contribute to brain fog, difficulty focusing, forgetfulness, slower mental processing, difficulty handling multitasking. Many women find that these symptoms appear years before hot flashes, another early sign that progesterone is declining long before estrogen drops significantly. The emotional roller coaster of low progesterone. When progesterone falls but estrogen remains relatively high, the emotional impact is amplified. Estrogen can heighten sensitivity. Progesterone normally softens that edge. Without enough progesterone, estrogen's stimulating effects go unchecked, creating heightened emotions, increased sensitivity, and periods of irritability that seem to appear out of nowhere. This is why women often say, "Nothing happened, but I still feel off." The body feels unsafe, overwhelmed, or overstimulated, all biochemical outcomes of progesterone deficiency. Progesterone isn't just about fertility, it's about emotional peace, deep rest, steady energy, and a calm nervous system. When progesterone is balanced, you feel grounded and capable. When it drops, your brain and emotions feel unsteady, even if life is calm. Supporting progesterone means supporting your mind, your sleep, and your emotional well-being at every stage of life. Natural ways to support progesterone production. You can't force your body to make progesterone, but you can create the conditions that allow it to rise naturally. And the truth is, most women don't need complicated hormone hacks. They need daily habits that make the body feel safe enough to produce progesterone again. Why you can't boost progesterone without supporting your whole system. Progesterone production depends on one key event: healthy ovulation. If ovulation is weak or absent, progesterone will always be low, no matter how many supplements you take. This is why stress, poor sleep, extreme dieting, or overexercising can all disrupt progesterone long before menopause even begins. Your body interprets chronic stress as danger, and when it feels unsafe, it prioritizes survival hormones, like cortisol, instead of reproductive hormones. So the real goal isn't boosting progesterone, it's creating safety inside your body, calming the nervous system, and supporting the organs that regulate hormones. 1. Manage stress, the most important step. Cortisol and progesterone share the same raw materials. When cortisol is high, the body diverts these materials towards stress survival, not hormone balance. This is the progesterone steal. Helpful practices that lower cortisol: slow, deep breathing for 5 minutes, gentle stretching before bed, nature walks and sunlight exposure, saying no to unnecessary commitments, journaling or gratitude reflection, cutting caffeine after noon. Even small reductions in daily stress can dramatically improve progesterone balance over time. 2. Prioritize sleep, your nightly hormone repair cycle. Your endocrine system recalibrates during deep sleep. When sleep is irregular or insufficient, progesterone output declines. Doctor-approved sleep-supportive habits: keep a consistent sleep and wake time. Dim lights 60 minutes before bed. Avoid screens close to bedtime. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. Build a relaxing routine: herbal tea, light reading, deep breathing. Deep sleep strengthens your adrenals and supports healthy ovulation, both essential for progesterone. 3. Nourish your body with progesterone-supportive nutrients. Several nutrients directly support progesterone production, adrenal health, and ovulation. Vitamin B6, essential for progesterone synthesis. Magnesium calms cortisol, supports GABA, improves sleep. Zinc supports ovarian and thyroid function. Omega-3s reduce inflammation, stabilize hormones. Healthy fats needed to make all hormones. Protein-rich meals stabilize blood sugar, vital for ovarian health. Foods like eggs, salmon, lentils, nuts, leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, and whole grains help supply these nutrients naturally. Always consult a doctor before taking supplements, especially if you have thyroid issues, PCOS, or perimenopausal symptoms. 4. Exercise, but not too much. Movement supports progesterone by improving insulin sensitivity and lowering stress, but overexercising increases cortisol and suppresses ovulation. Best forms for hormone balance: brisk walking, Pilates, or yoga. Light to moderate strength training, low-impact cardio. Avoid excessive HIIT, long intense cardio sessions, or exercising while fasting if you already have hormonal symptoms. The goal is consistency, not punishment. 5. Limit xenoestrogens to protect progesterone balance. Xenoestrogens are synthetic estrogen-like chemicals found in plastics, pesticides, scented products, and many cosmetics. They mimic estrogen in the body, worsening estrogen dominance and making progesterone seem even lower. Protective swaps use glass or stainless steel containers. Avoid heating food in plastic. Choose fragrance-free personal care items. Wash produce thoroughly. Avoid air fresheners and synthetic perfumes. These small lifestyle adjustments prevent estrogen overload and help progesterone regain its rightful balance. 6. Herbal support with caution. Some herbs may support progesterone indirectly by restoring ovulation and calming stress. Chaseberry, Vitex. Ashwagandha, rhodiola, maca root. These are not progesterone replacements. They simply support the systems that produce hormones. Always consult a doctor before use, especially if you take medications or have a diagnosed condition. Progesterone rises when your body feels safe, physically, mentally, and emotionally. By lowering stress, nourishing your body, moving gently, sleeping deeply, and minimizing harmful chemicals, you create a hormone-friendly environment where progesterone can thrive naturally. Your body wants balance. Your daily habits are the signals that tell it how to respond. A daily routine for hormone harmony, helping progesterone flow naturally. Balancing progesterone doesn't happen in big dramatic steps. It happens in the quiet moments of your day. The way you start your morning, fuel your afternoon, and unwind at night sends constant signals to your hormones. Your habits become your hormone balance. Why a routine matters more than occasional effort. Hormones thrive on rhythm, not randomness. Your endocrine system relies on predictable cycles of waking, eating, resting, and sleeping to regulate ovulation, cortisol, insulin, and progesterone. When your days are chaotic, rushed, or inconsistent, your hormones struggle to find their natural flow. This routine isn't about perfection. It's about creating a stable environment where your body feels safe, and safety is what allows progesterone to rise. Morning, start calm, start stable. 1. Wake gently, not abruptly. Avoid starting your day in a rush. Sudden stress in the morning spikes cortisol, which can interfere with progesterone. Instead, sit up slowly. Take 3 to 5 deep breaths. Expose yourself to natural light, even through a window. Sunlight helps regulate circadian rhythms that influence melatonin and progesterone. 2. Eat a protein-rich breakfast within 1 to 2 hours. Skipping breakfast or drinking only coffee creates blood sugar instability, a major trigger for cortisol spikes. A balanced breakfast with protein, fiber, and healthy fats helps keep insulin steady throughout the day. Stable insulin, stable ovulation, stable progesterone. Great options include eggs plus avocado, oatmeal with nuts and seeds, Greek yogurt with berries, smoothie with protein powder. 3. Hydrate early. Hormone metabolism requires efficient liver and kidney function. Start with water or herbal tea, not sugary drinks. Midday, keep energy smooth and stress low. 1. Move your body in gentle cycles. A 10 to 15-minute walk after meals stabilizes blood sugar and supports progesterone by reducing insulin spikes. Gentle movement keeps cortisol balanced and supports adrenal health. 2. Eat balanced meals. Midday meals should blend protein, complex carbs, vegetables, and healthy fats. Avoid long periods without food. This raises cortisol and disrupts ovulation. 3. Protect your nervous system. Midday, stress often becomes evening anxiety. Use simple recalibration tools. A slow breathing break, a short stretch, a quiet moment away from your desk. These tiny pauses prevent cortisol buildup. Evening, the most important progesterone window. Progesterone's calming effects depend on your ability to wind down. If nights are chaotic, sleep becomes shallow, and without deep sleep, progesterone cannot remain balanced. 1. Dim the lights. 1 hour before bed. Darkness signals melatonin production, which works hand in hand with progesterone to help you sleep. 2. Create a relaxation ritual. This doesn't need to be complicated. Herbal tea, gentle stretching, aromatherapy, a few pages of reading, gratitude journaling. These routines lower cortisol, making space for progesterone to work. 3. Avoid late-night sugar or caffeine. Both spike cortisol and disrupt your sleep cycle. 4. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of rest. Deep sleep is your hormonal repair phase. It's when cortisol resets and progesterone's calming effect becomes most noticeable. Conclusion. Your hormones are not unpredictable enemies. They are sensitive messengers responding to the way you live, rest, move, and think. Progesterone, especially, is the hormone that helps you feel grounded, calm, and emotionally steady. When it drops, life feels heavier. But when it returns to balance, your entire system feels clearer, softer, and more resilient. The most important thing to remember is this: your body is not failing, it is adapting. Progesterone naturally shifts throughout your life, but with the right habits, supportive routines, and gentle care, you can help your body find its new equilibrium. Whether you're 25, 45, or 55, understanding progesterone gives you the power to respond with compassion instead of confusion. So trust your body, listen to its signals, and know that balance is always possible, even in seasons of change. If this video brought you clarity, tap like, subscribe, and share it with another woman who deserves to understand her hormones better. More doctor-approved health education is coming your way on Her Hormones. Thank you for watching.